Hi, beautiful community. Welcome back to another episode of Create Your Joy. And I'm so grateful to be here and share another wonderful song that Shruti Goel, which is she is an amazing self-love coach and empowerment coach. And as now she's a student of, can you share, Shruti?
Oh, yes, I would love to. I am also currently a student of the Eden Energy Method, and I plan to share one of the techniques from energy medicine that relates beautifully to the song we're going to talk about today.
Thank you so much for sharing. Sorry about that. We all need to know what Shruti is doing now because it is actually an amazing, energetic healing, right, Shruti?
Practice, exactly. And
Practice.
there's so many techniques to help ground us and keep us connected to, being able to see the good in everyone and everything. And incidentally, that is the name of our song as well.
Yeah, so stay tuned because she's gonna give us a tool at the end of the episode so
Yes.
you guys can practice. So like Shruti mentioned, uh, the name of the song is Look for the Good. So, like, I'm sure, like, most of you know that I am Ivania Leong. I am a mindset and self-love coach. So, we continue with this episode, which is I can't wait to start.
Yeah. And so, this song just came to me out of the ether. I was looking for inspiration, and there it was. And it is a song by one of my favorite artists. His name is Jason Mraz. And yeah, I was so surprised to see that this album came out in the year 2020. And it would be interesting to find out if it was before the start of the pandemic or after,
Mm.
because it really puts things into perspective. And I know in the midst of the pandemic, all of us needed to look for the good in order to find the strength and inspiration to keep going. So, without delay, let me get started with the beautiful lyrics here. And so he starts by saying, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. And this second line especially, look for the people who will set your soul free, um, I found that that was such an important concept to share because I think most of us, especially in our lives prior to the pandemic, were just used to being in the circles that we had belonged to forever. And the pandemic, when it paused us and forced us to retreat, most of us started being very intentional and noticing who were the people that when we sat with them, we walked away and we felt completely drained, versus who were the people with whom, when we spent time, our heart felt uplifted. We felt like we had some hope to go back into the world and do what we needed to do despite this huge unknown that was hanging in the air. So I love that. Look for the people who will set your soul free. And the set your soul free part to me really means that they're able to be someone that encourages you to live your fullest potential. And I know in my life, Ivania, you're one of those people.
Thank you so much.
And I'm getting a little emotional thinking about this, but it's so true. The kind of work that we have been able to do together is has set my soul free. Our podcast has set my soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. I mean, I can't think of another quote that he could have used here to say that, when you're looking at something that you haven't done before, absolutely, it seems impossible. And if I look back on the last few years, there are so many projects and the coaching work, the energy medicine work that I'm doing right now that seemed impossible. How could I possibly do that along with my day job? And here we are, and I am walking that path. So it really resonates with me. And then this idea, the last line of this chorus says, "Look for the good in everyone." And I really love this reminder because it also has helped me expand my circles out, make them more diverse, make them more enriched in a way with people's presence that maybe I ordinarily would not even have been thinking about. I would not necessarily have gone out of my way to connect with some of these people because I maybe would have had to look a little harder to find things in common. And yet, when I was in a mindset to look for the good in someone, I was able to, yes, evaluate their actions, but not judge and reject someone just based on a single action that I have seen, but rather give them some time to reveal themselves to me. So I really love this first part, the chorus. And again, I hope everyone will listen to this song and then come here and explore the lyrics because it just takes it one step deeper when you can hear a piece of music and just enjoy the musicality. And then you really dive into the words because the words have such power. They can move our emotions in a different way. So then the next stanza begins, and in this verse it says, people done gone crazy, people done gone mad, people done forget the superpowers we all have. And this is resonating very deeply with me that, you know, people, when they are, to me, this interprets as people who have just evaluated the world as a scary place. They are the ones that feel like they're going crazy because things are not in their control. And when things are not in our control, we only have two things we can do. One is to lose all control and just, start screaming and get completely overwhelmed. Or the second thing is we look at what's happening and we surrender in some ways to the fact that there is a higher power that is here for us, that we are supported in our journey, and that there is not a single step that we walk alone. And when we can do that, then we also find like-minded people that come around us. And the world seems a little less crazy, as he's saying. People done gone mad. And, it's that same kind of thing that some people can be very severely affected by the changes around them. And I find, especially post-pandemic, that change has become the rhythm of life lately. Things seem to change on a daily basis, and all of us have no choice but to deal with that to a certain degree. People have forgotten the superpowers that we have. This is a very common theme, Ivania, that we have seen in all of the songs that we have shared, is that there's this sense that we have forgotten our own magnificence. And I'll tell you, energy medicine as well connects us to that magnificence. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. And this line just, you know, hits me in my core that we are here to love. Even though we see examples of hate around us, that is not the majority of us. Most of us are here to love and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. And I just love this part, celebrating our mistakes. What could be more valuable than realizing that mistakes are the gift that we get to learn from the wisdom of the universe. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it. And this last line, I just think that it is a mantra, to remind yourself no matter what is going on, some opportunity will arise from it. And I think those of us that are resilient, those of us that are grounded and connected to ourselves and to our higher power, um, are able to see the silver lining wherever it appears. And so let me pause here and maybe you have a reaction to this, Ivania. What's going on for you with this song?
Wow, no, it's actually, I really like the song. I had never heard this song before.
Yeah.
And I heard it when you sent it to me. I didn't see the video because it's a
Yeah.
wonderful video that all should look at because it's another piece that when I saw the video, it took me to a higher or deeper understanding because it turns into a feeling because now visual, like you actually seeing it with your eyes, what it's trying to say. And I really like the fact that it's like it goes in strong and goes directly to the source, which is the soul.
Yes,
Like it goes directly. Let's just put the basis of this, which is the soul. And I
exactly.
really like that. And I mean, let's continue because I want to say something here when it says, let's start the second stanza
Mm.
where it says, look for the good in everything, because it repeats it.
Yes.
Look for the people who will set you free, who will set your soul free. And when I heard this, you know, I went the other way than you.
Ah,
I actually, when I heard that, I thought of the people that they're so feeling overwhelmed, angry, that you come in contact with. Because once you start to understand yourself a little bit more, and like you said, we hear love and we're in this journey, that challenges that we face is people as well, not just things, not just like problems, which I call problems, challenges. But when you meet someone that is angry or that has a lot of hates to someone, or like they had got mad, it's actually when you come in to practice what you say you're practicing, and because it's testing you, and when you're able to help, if you can, but if you're not, then you're helping yourself not to react, not to aggravate more the situation, and that sets your soul free. Not just your soul, but first with your body, meaning you stop releasing all those toxins, like cortisol.
yeah,
You stop that
yeah.
and you start releasing your body first.
Mm,
And then it goes into your soul, because then you become more kinder.
yeah,
You become more to understand. And it was really beautiful, because that's where we learn. That's when we learn that we're resilient. That's when we learn that we have more love. That's when we learn kindness to each other. So, and it's very beautiful. Like, and now when I saw the video, it connected the dots for me as well. And I will proceed what it says. It always seems impossible until it's done. And this line, it took me to because I do a lot of visualizations in my coaching and imagination. And I think that because we haven't seen it done, we can imagine that it could be done. But if we imagine it, then that means that it can be done. And then other people, when they come and do other beautiful things, then that's like a validation, like, oh yeah, it could be done. So I really like the part that not because you don't see it, that doesn't mean there's no solution to it. Or it just a beautiful thing that puts you in a state to imagine what you want to be free of. And it says, look for the good in everyone. This line in particular, where it says, look for the good in everyone, it might seem very difficult at the beginning, especially when you bump into people, like we said, they're overwhelmed, they're upset, they're angry, and, you know, they're just trying to survive. But beyond, if we're able to look beyond that, I see it like that. If we're able to beyond that, it's a human being going through maybe a lot that we're not aware of. Then that's what it means to me. That's what is speaking in the song to me. Because it's not about you that they're treating you bad because of you. It's they all have their own thing going through. And and if you think about it, most of the people that are angry, that is because there's something painful within their lives. And it's so beautiful. And then it says, everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. This one, when it says like everyone needs sunshine, but it reminds me, if you walk on the street and just smile to someone,
yeah.
that is also sunshine to me. Because it can happen to me. Like I might be distracted, or I might be thinking about like how do I resolve this? Sorry about that. And when you're going through that, your expression on your face changes.
Yes.
And if a person walks by and smile, it brings me back to a different state. It brings me back to the state of who we are, love. So I really, really like that. And everyone needs rain. This one in particular, where it says rain, to me, it means like challenges. And what do we need challenges? So we can be able to see who we are, that we're resilient, that we're evolving. And every challenge is a step forward to the next, your next version of yourself. That is why it's a challenge. That's what when I think of the brain, it washes your challenge away once you take the step forward. So that's what I get from that. Is that everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. See, that's what I say, like everyone, no one is completely free. And the thing is that we able to, I really like what you said earlier before, that we're walking together
Yeah.
because everyone is carrying some kind of pain that we're able to connect to. And even though you're going through your own pain, there's other people walking with your pain. And it makes it lighter
Mm.
to go through life. And I really, really like this. And it repeats, and it says, I see who you are. You just like me. Oh, see, it is just so beautiful because we are like the same.
Yeah.
Because technically that's who we are. We might be look different from the outside, but from the inside, everyone has the same organs and it works the same way. We have the same blood. So we just the same, and then we go beyond it. Everyone is just one. So I really like what it says. I see who you are and not who you pretend to be. I really like that because I see who you are. And just like me, I see you're searching for purpose, guided by a dream. Oh my God, this is what's amazing because everyone is searching for a purpose. At some point, we're looking for a purpose. And we will find it if we go searching it. We will find it, I'm sure. There's no doubt about that. And this is guided by our dreams. I really love that because the dreams is always guiding us. If we start, helping each other, or why do I want to dream? How can I resolve this problem? Can you help me? And the dreams is also, gives you signs, insights of what you can do, or what is it that you need to remove, or what is it, or what is the next step for you. So I really, really love this. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. And that's beautiful because that's all of us. There's not one single person that has said, oh, I found myself. Because it's not about finding yourself. It's about looking at the process of the evolution, that you might lose yourself for a minute, but then there's something within you that keeps you back and say, hey, no, it's this way. You are this person. You're not that. So there's always, we have all this of the higher self that that I always call it the higher self is our voice, that is our wisdom voice that always is there with us, guiding us when we are in the wrong path. And it is okay to forget, because when you forget, that means you're going to a difficult challenge and you have to get ready for the new version of yourself. So you had to forget the old you and get with the new version of you. So this speaks really beautifully, and it is such a wonderful song and lyrics to reflect on yourself, that it will keep you motivated. Like it will open a door to go deeper with yourself. And it says, I keep on trying when it gets frightened. And I like this also because it could be scary. And like you mentioned, and when COVID hit, it could be really scary. And but if you turn inward, then you can understand, like you say, Shitty, you're not alone. Even you might not be next to someone, or you are in another place. Look how beautiful we're able to connect now. We have more connection. We're all different people around the world. So it looked frightened. It was scary, sad. But at the end of the day, it propelled us to the next level for evolution. And it's just a beautiful song.
Oh, that was beautiful, Ivania. It was amazing to hear your perspective, especially on the chorus and just everything that you shared in this particular verse. And the only line that I want to return to is it says, "I get lost sometimes and forget what I came here to do." And I was going to connect that to the line that talked about making mistakes,
Mm.
right? That those are the moments that make us pause, because our world, especially, is very invested in us doing things all the time. But as we have discovered, we're not human doings, we're human beings. And what that means is that there's a period of action in our lives, but there's also a period of reflection. And so, I'm in my own life trying to be much more intentional about that part because the period of action, yes, moves me forward, but I find that the period of reflection helps me reconnect to my purpose.
Mhm.
And I really think that that is a beautiful gift that coaching has given to me. When I received coaching from someone else, it helped me realign and sharpen my
Yes.
focus on what my purpose was. And so I really think that this song is getting at the heart of that. If you don't know your purpose, then you're just like on a treadmill, you're walking and walking and going nowhere. So I just wanted to mention that part of this verse really connected with me, and I loved what you said about the things that we have in common with one another, especially since the pandemic, and what you were saying about the setting the soul free. It was such a different perspective from mine, but I feel like my brain lit up with the way you were trying to explain about that setting your soul free part of it. So let's keep going then. And it repeats this beautiful chorus about look for the good in everything, look for the people who will set your soul free. Always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good, look for the good, look for the good. And I think as we have noticed in the chorus, when there's a line like that repeats often, that is kind of the moral. If we were listening to a story, that would be the moral of the story. And so look for the good. Um, and that sometimes we might have to look a little harder to find that good, but it's always there. And I also love that reminder that, at the end of it, people are, more interested in loving one another than we are in hating. And that itself lets us know that love will win, even in a dark moment. So the next verse then says, everyone is nature, everyone is God, everyone is love and light and vibration. And, you know, I liked that he included everyone. And I know he's saying everyone, but also everything is nature. We are connected to everything and everyone around us. And when we say that everyone is God, I think that elevates our lives to something much more holy and special than we ordinarily think of. I can be grateful for the table and the computer and the phone that I have, for example, when I perceive that everyone is nature and everyone is God, you know, and the fact that my brain is tuned into abundance helps me see the magnificence, right? I meet it, whatever it is in front of me, with love rather than some other emotion. Everyone is love, light, and vibration. And this can feel a little cliche when we hear it, for those of us that feel a little more cynical, maybe. But it's true that we're also light and vibration. And sometimes in the new age context, vibration feels like one of those words that's overused. But what is vibration at its core? It is the movement of our molecules. And within our molecules is the movement of the atoms. And I think to me, it's just a reminder that in some ways, we are in constant motion our entire lives. So it actually feels a little bit comical because most of us feel resistant to change. However, the only thing that's constant in our life is change. We're not even the same from one moment to the next. And I think this song really gets at that. And again, this reminder comes up, look for the good, look for the good. And I love that knowing our own nature, that it is so um, tethered in change, that it shouldn't be as hard as we make it out to be to look for the good in something. And one of the fastest ways is, of course, to find a way to change your mindset. And guess what? The coaching approach is all about teaching us how to open our perspective and how to look for the good in a way in our own life. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. And this line, especially as a woman, hits me very deep because I find that anger is one emotion that I have not given myself permission always to authentically embody. Why? Because it can be uncomfortable for people around me to witness my anger. However, I'm reminded in a lot of readings that I have done that anger is said to be like our best friend. It's letting us know where our boundaries are being crossed. And I find that that is a really good reminder. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. If we're witnessing some injustice and it's making our blood boil, yes, we feel the emotion. What we should not do is just without thinking, without taking a pause and reflecting, just acting out, right? I think that may potentially lead to an action that we may regret. However, if we feel the anger and we can say, wow, this is a big emotion I'm feeling right now. What can I do with this anger that's going to set things right in some way? And we choose an action to do, which may be as simple as stopping the injustice from happening, that is a choice that we have. And again, looking for the good, even when we're looking for a resolution, um, you know, a violent act is not the solution to looking for the good, you know. Um, Look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. And again, this is a reminder that all of us are so magnificent, we're not even aware. And yet, can you look for the heroes that are right in your neighborhood? When someone finds my lost package, they're my hero for that day. When my parents' neighbors take the time to shovel their driveway, they're my heroes for that day. And we can choose to feel grateful for the little things that people do for us around
Mhm.
us all the time. And again, look for the good, look for the good. Life sure would be sweeter if everyone would. And this is, I think, his ultimate message to us is that by looking for the good in everyone, we are actually accessing more joy in our life. And here we are. Our podcast is Create Your Joy. And what a powerful way to create your joy, which is to look for the good that you're doing yourself, and then also look for that very mindfully um, in the people around you. So I want to leave with that. And then, of course, it comes back to this chorus about look for the good in everything and the people that set your soul free.
Wow. It is such a beautiful lyrics, and I really like the fact that you said that included everyone and everything. Like
Yeah.
it did not exclude one thing,
Anyone. Yeah.
anyone or one thing.
Right.
And one thing that I just wanted to mention when you said everyone is nature, it brought to me what came to my mind when it said everyone is nature, it went to different layers. One is that when we transition, like when we passed away, this physical body is not going and it becomes part of nature, some way or another.
Yes.
It will end up in nature.
Yeah.
It will end up. And and not only that, but when we look at the trees, when you walk in the trees,
Yeah.
there's a connection there.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to be consciously deciding, okay, do I want to connect? Or even just passing by, it just makes you happy when you go see all the flowers. But when you consciously deciding, I'm going to connect with nature, it
Yeah.
takes you deeper.
Yes.
And then you see that we are nature.
Beautiful.
I really love that. I said, everyone is God. When I heard this line, because we don't, the way I explain it to my family or to Camila, my daughter, is that because we don't know the actual name of our creator.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there is a name because I don't think there's a language
Yeah.
that we speak of. So for the lack of a better word, like we say God, or we use different names of the universe, energy,
Yeah.
because we don't know what actually is
Right.
the creator's names. And I really like that he included our
Yeah.
creator and right next to nature,
Yeah.
literally right next to nature. And the light and vibration, what I think I really like the fact that you explain it about the molecules and the atom,
Yeah.
the movement.
Exactly.
And the way I explain it is more like we are just energy,
Yes.
and the energy is not stuck or doesn't move. Energy moves
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I really like that he included in there.
Yeah.
So we can reflect on what is he trying to tell me.
Exactly.
So yes, I love the last part that I just wanted to mention on the hero part that I agree with you that your neighbor, a friend,
Yeah.
a family member, or from the store,
Yeah.
those are real heroes. We all are heroes at some point to someone,
Yeah.
especially if you're in this journey that you want to be kind, you want to share love, you want to share some light. Just want to give a smile when someone, is having such a hard time, or
Mm.
just listen to them. They're not looking for something else, but that connection.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yes,
that
beautiful
was
song.
lovely, Ivania. Thank you for sharing that. And speaking of connection, the energy medicine exercise that I want to leave everyone with to help you look for the good. One of the things I have learned in Eden Energy Method is that we, especially human beings, are always trying to connect ourselves to receive energy from the heavens and to take energy up from Mother Earth. And so, one of the best ways, if you're feeling disconnected, this helps with both grounding as well as just feeling connected to our higher power, is we begin by always activating our hands. You know, our hands are said to be magnificent tools with which we can find connection. And so you will start by warming up your hands. And ordinarily, you would do this exercise standing up. For our demonstration, I'm going to do it in a chair, but you can follow along and be out of a chair if you would like. So once you have activated your hands, just go ahead and put them on the top surface of your thigh for a moment. That helps with grounding. And then come up to a prayerful pose at your heart. And here we want to keep our knees bent at all times. So you're going to just bounce one hand to the top like this, and the other hand is going to be flat and at the bottom. And you want to make the stretch as wide as possible. And take some clarifying breaths as you do this. And the intention is to keep either hand as flat as possible. And then we come back into the prayerful pose. And then we do this on the other side. So again, flat and up and flat like this and down. And just take some deep breaths here. And again, we come back into this prayerful pose. And then we end this exercise by putting our hands back on our thighs for a moment. And then bringing them down by your side. And every time that you're able to pause and do this, it brings both a sense of clarity. And for me, especially, it brings a connection between my mind and body. When I've been on the computer too long, I can feel like a floating point of consciousness and not really connected to my body. And I feel that this really allows me to come home to myself. And it also reminds us of this beautiful connection that we have to the heavens and to the earth. And I would pair this exercise with another one immediately as you're done with this, which is just called Heaven Rushing In. It is one of the most beautiful names that I can think of. And all you really have to do for this is you want to throw your arms out as wide as you can, out. And what I do is kind of like this, bringing energy in. And you just stay in this stance and you can wiggle your fingers a little bit. And I find this to be a very receptive pose where you're opening yourself up to all of the beautiful, positive energies from heaven. And you just say, hey, I want to accept as much of it as I can. And again, bring your hands together on your heart to charge our heart up with those energies. Take a couple of breaths and bring your hands down. And I think the more opportunities we can take to restore ourselves this way, then we're not walking around with our fuel tank on empty. And when we connect with other people, we can actually share some of this positivity with them.
Wow, it's
So
a wonderful exercise, Shruti. It was really, really nice. I really felt the energy going through me when you
ah,
were going like this,
beautiful.
because it's like, of course, your body is actually feeling it within.
Yes,
And of course, if you give yourself a few minutes, to connect, it actually a magnificent feeling that I felt. And then the other one, when you open your arms and you go like this, um, every time I'm outside or anywhere, whenever I can, and I feel like grateful. I open my arms, and actually, most of my pictures are arm open because I am ready to receive, and what I'm receiving, I am thankful for.
definitely.
And
And
then,
Yeah,
Sorry. And I
you're
wanted
so
to say
right.
like when
Yeah.
you were saying like this, I like to
Yeah.
like this when because I want to bring it to me. That's so good. Everyone should
Absolutely.
try it. Everyone has to try it.
Yes. And I was just going to say, you're so intuitive, Ivania. Some of us intuitively do these things, and it just goes to show that our bodies have so much wisdom. And, some of these techniques are just reminding us of that wisdom.
Exactly.
Oh,
So with that, we can bring our episode to a close. And thank you so much. Please, if you like this episode, like and subscribe. And if you think that somebody else is gonna like this episode of any of the episodes that we have made, please share it. All we want is to share some light and create new perspectives. Start talking about things that are very uncomfortable so it can be comfortable and share love. That's all we're here to do.
definitely. And with this reminder, please generate your joy, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.